Welcome alongside Voice of the Nation Fastbreak, the first show of 2012. My name is David Brickley alongside Kevin Figures. The Lakers 4-3, and I think early on in this season, there's two major storylines we got to hit on. First and foremost, it's the health of Kobe Bryant. He has that torn ligament in his right hand. I don't know how the heck he's playing right now, but he is. And then the play, all-star caliber play of Andrew Bynum in his 3 games back after that suspension. So let's start with the Kobe Bryant wrist. How is this going to affect the Lakers? It's obviously going to be an ongoing issue. He can't get healthy unless he sits out an extended period of time, and Kobe's just not going to do that.
No, with the shortened season especially, you're not going to sit out an extended period of time. They're going to need Kobe Bryant. You know, they don't have Lamar Odom on the roster anymore. They need as much depth as they can get, or as much play they can get from Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, and Andrew Bynum, their big 3. It's going to be an ongoing issue, as you mentioned. Kobe Bryant, the injured hand, only is going to help with his rest, and he's handling the ball a lot. They're running him a lot off of screens and setting things up. A lot of his turnovers are up because he's handling the ball a lot more.
But, again, I think Kobe's one of those players that you consistently judge and try to critique. The guy's averaging 26, 6, and 6. I mean, that's pretty darn good.
That's obviously amazing considering the circumstances, to be honest with you.
And I mean, you know, he had those 2 tough games in Denver. I think every time he does shoot bad now, everybody's going to think it's his wrist. But he's had, you know, years where he's been absolutely healthy, and he's had a bad stretch of ball games.
Sure.
He plays at Houston games. What does he go, 14 for 29?
Yes.
I mean, if he can shoot 50% with a wrist that has a torn ligament in it, I'll take my chances.
It's absolutely phenomenal. My criticism of Kobe Bryant, and it has been when he was healthy or when he's been hurt, is when your shot is not falling like it was, especially in that second Denver game in Denver. Why are you still shooting? If you're 3 for 12 from the field, maybe you start thinking, okay, maybe my shot's not falling
He is
tonight.
averaging 22 shots per game, which is the highest in the league thus far. Obviously, he's always in that top 3 when it comes to attempts.
Sure.
But I think you're asking Kobe Bryant to be someone he's not. He's always been a gunner. He's always been a guy that needs to get his 20 to 25 shots a game. He's not going to go down to shoot 15 shots a game. I understand you want to probably get it into the bigs, but much like Mike Brown does. But I don't see how you're going to ask Kobe Bryant to scale back when he's capable of dropping 37 against Houston.
You're capable of doing that, but when, like I said, on nights that it's not working, the Houston game is a perfect example. He started out hot. He was hot the entire night. He was making shots left and right. In that case, by all means, shoot a fadeaway with 3 guys in your face because you're making it.
Right.
But in that Denver game, when you're 3 of 12 and you're 4 of 17, at what point in time do you say, okay, this isn't working? Not only that, Andrew Bynum and Pau Gasol were dominating. I mean, Nene, Mozgov, whoever, all those guys they couldn't stop him. The Lakers were absolutely dominating in the paint, and Kobe Bryant, I don't want to say he shot him out of the game, but he definitely did not help them win that game in Denver.
Okay, so as we talked about, Lakers 4-3. Let's talk about Bynum now, as you just mentioned him. In the 3 games back, 23 points, 17 rebounds, and averaging 2 blocks per game. Obviously against Houston, he had his first 2020 game ever with 21 points and 22 boards. What's this mean for the Lakers?
It's the same old thing. You know, Andrew Bynum plays great. We've said this, you know, numerous times over the last year. When Andrew Bynum is healthy and in a rhythm, he's the second best center in the league behind Dwight Howard.
Best center in the West,
Yeah, best in the West by far, I believe, to be honest with you. The problem is, and it's always going to come back to this, can he stay on the floor?
It's funny, again, when Kobe shoots bad in Denver, it's, oh my goodness, his wrist is terrible, he needs to stop shooting, and then he has that game against Houston, and it's all good now. With Andrew Bynum, he has so many injuries, and then he has a game like this. I have people tweeting me saying, should we trade Bynum now? Should we keep him? Yes, you trade Bynum now because the guy has missed 164 games in his career. I think what this does, though, is it helps his trade value. If he can continue to play like this, maybe Orlando takes him straight up now, or maybe just a few pieces instead of what they've demanded in the past, both Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum. So keep on playing like this, and I think the Lakers need to capitalize and send this guy out for Dwight Howard.
The problem with that is, you know, we still know that Andrew Bynum is Jim Buss's guy, and if Andrew continues to play this way and he does not get hurt, Jim Buss is going to legitimize this by saying, well, why should we trade him? We have a good center already. We don't need to trade him. He's healthy this year, you know. So that's the issue that you're going to run into if Andrew Bynum plays at this. Now, he's not going to be after 2020
again, like you talked about, we've seen this movie before.
Exactly, and that's exactly.
He plays all-star basketball, and then he grabs his right knee, and then we know what the rest is. So I say continue to play good and up that trade value. I don't think long-term you can't invest in a 24-year-old guy that's had major foot and knee injuries and has missed 164 games in his career, when possibly you could package him and go get a guy that wants to get out of Orlando, wants to come to a place like L.A., and he's only missed 8 games in his career.
But now here's the question, though, David. If Orlando's asking price is higher than what the Lakers are willing to pay, do you just say, well, you know what? Bynum's healthy for right now. He's playing well. Forget your trade. We're not going to trade you more than what we think you're worth.
It's a once in a, I want to say lifetime, but it's a once in a 10-year period type of situation where the best center in the game by far wants out of his current situation. So I think you throw everything against the wall until it works out for you. I think you trade Bynum, You trade Gasol.
Really?
Whatever you do to get Dwight. He's 25 years old. He never gets hurt. He's a beast. Nobody even compares to him. As good as Andrew Bynum's playing, Dwight Howard is in a whole nother stratosphere, and I think you agree with that. So with that being said, if you could get that guy on your team in the latter part of Kobe's career and build with him in the next decade, I think it's a no-brainer.
Now,
if you don't trade Andrew Bynum, then you're saying for the next decade we're building around a guy that can't stay on the floor.
That may get hurt. It may
he will.
Probably will get hurt. And Dwight Howard, who has, I think he's missed a single game his entire career. He's played all 82 every single year of his career. The problem with the trading Gasol and Bynum both is, like I said, you're depleting whatever depth you have in the front court in your team. You're basically giving this season up. They're not going to win a championship with just Dwight.
Are they going to win the championship with this roster they have right now?
Look, I mean, if they use that trade exception and get another player to help out,
they have a better chance of winning a championship with this current roster or a roster with Kobe and Dwight as your 1-2?
This one, because you still have Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum. You have two bigs. You have, without those two bigs, you have Dwight Howard, Kobe Bryant. If
Bynum plays the first full season of his entire career,
which is very unlikely. But I'm just saying,
that's my point.
Even if he gets hurt and comes back for the playoff run, you at least have that, as opposed to Kobe, Dwight Howard, and Josh McRoberts
with the injured left toe, mind you, or right toe. I don't know. Anyway. Let's go ahead and ask Laker Nation, what do you think the Lakers should do? Should they continue to ride Bynum, let him grab 20 points and 20 boards, and then up his trade value to get Dwight Howard? Or do you think it's time now for Andrew Bynum to stay healthy the rest of his career and lead the Lakers into the promised land the next decade? Who knows? So go ahead and comment below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. For Kevin Figures, my name is David Brickley.